get us going. Oh, God. All right, there we go. What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Renegade Roundtable. Let me get my camera all nice and going. That is very unprofessional here. I'm Jeff Kirby here. Jared said already, let's go. We back. We are back and better than ever. Obviously, I'm Jeff Kirby. We got Caleb.
What's up, y'all?
And we got Stone back in the building. Well, in her building, we are obviously not with each other. But yeah, we are back. We did take a week off. Life happens. So we took a week off and we are back. And boy, oh boy, we have some things to talk about. TJ Watt most likely going to get signed before week 1. Big Ben is back. And apparently we like to fight in the stands. So we got some stuff to get into tonight.
It's been crazy.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy if you ask me. But let's go ahead and obviously, for real quick a disclosure, Caleb did not watch the preseason game. So
anything.
So
okay, time out. I did know that fight happened though, so I was wrong. That's like the one thing I knew that happened. I knew that and then the score because I had friends who were there who were in that section, like behind them, and saw the whole thing go down, and they were just like texting.
Oh my
me
God,
like,
Caleb, tell me more.
You got to. They were giving me an update, and they're like, oh, "You'll never believe what just happened." And they're like, "Well, actually, no, you're gonna see it on Sports Center because it's gonna be on Sports Center, so don't worry." And then they were telling me like, "Oh, there's fans fighting," and they're like, "Well, I guess it's football in Pittsburgh, so." God, the fans are way too passionate. It was hilarious because I wasn't watching. I didn't know what was going on. I was just getting texts like, "Dude, you got to see what just happened." It was kind of hilarious.
Yeah, it's so real quick, while we're in the discussion of fighting going on, ironically, this will be something that we're going to talk about on JKP later tonight. Is Jake Paul is fighting this weekend in the city, 30 minutes away from where I am. So there's that. So that is, and I know people who have tickets to that fight, and I somehow might get dragged into going to that fight.
Well, you have fun.
We'll have to see because we have a fantasy.
Who is he fighting?
Tyron Woodley, the former UFC welterweight champion, one of the best.
Sick of Jake Paul.
Huh?
I'm so sick of Jake Paul.
I mean,
good for him and whatever, but I just like he's so obnoxious. He's just obnoxious.
He is very obnoxious, and it's the fact that he grew up 15 to 20 minutes away from where I currently live.
Sounds about
so
right.
It's people here in this in the Cleveland area do not like him, and I'll be honest, I think some of it might have to do with jealousy. And we're getting a couple comments. Go Steelers! Yes, indeed, go Steelers. We're just getting off topic to start because what the hell?
Let's roll into it. Let's roll into it, Kirby.
So okay, let's roll right into the fact that Ben Roethlisberger is back.
He's back, baby.
Okay, time out. I got a confession. I've been saying this whole damn time. I saw a couple drives from him in the first half or in the first quarter against Detroit, and I was telling everyone, calm the hell down. I was being that guy. And here's my thing. And obviously Caleb is shaking his head. And yes, it is fun to see. It was nice to see Ben Roethlisberger out there with the ones. It was nice to see him throw 2 touchdown passes. It was nice seeing him running around in the pocket like he was in 2012. It was nice seeing him throw a deep ball to Deontay Johnson. It was nice to see Pat Freiermuth catch 2 touchdown passes. But, again, they were going up against the Detroit Lions backups.
In preseason.
In the preseason, and Detroit is one of the worst teams in football.
I don't care what y'all say. Y'all can be negative all you want. I'm about to say it. Papa Ben is back, baby. That's all that I got to say. You guys can be negative Nancy's all day long.
I'm not negative Nancy. Real quick.
I get it. It was a preseason. I agree with you to an extent. I do. But he looks good.
Real quick, non-Steeler news real quick. Colts placed offensive lineman Quentin Nelson and Eric Fisher on the reserve COVID list. So those are 2 big blows to start off the season for the Colts. Just had to get that out there per Adam Schefter. But It's very. Don't get me wrong. I was at work going nuts. I looked like the same person I was looking like in 2018 when we were beating the Patriots. I was acting like that for a preseason game. Don't get me wrong. But after I sat down and kind of I let the emotions go, and then I'm like, okay, it is just the preseason. Let's chill out a little bit. What this kind of compared to, and trust me, and I just got a message from someone saying they also have tickets to the Tyron Woodley Jake Paul fight. So sounds like people are going to that game or to that fight. And I was in person watching this because we were doing a show a couple years ago, the 2019 year when the Browns were facing the Washington, well, at the time Redskins, now football team, and they had a first drive when they were supposed to be good. And everyone's going nuts, and then we saw what happened there. And I'm not saying that we're going to go 6-10 or 6-11 like everyone else, like all the other sheeps that they're, aka NFL analysts, are saying. But, I mean, we'll see what happens week 1 against Buffalo when it really matters.
All I have to say is, during camp, all these analysts were talking about how Ben looked like he was out of shape and he was washed up and yada, yada, yada. And I get this was a preseason game. I understand that. But he still looked good as far as the way he was throwing. I think he looked better than last season. I think that he's going to have more confidence in this new O-line, so that's going to make him look even better. And I want all those negative people to keep that same energy this entire season. Thank you.
And I guess that is
end of the show. Close your computer.
That would be kind of funny. But and don't get me wrong, I love seeing the Steelers. It's nice to see them grow. It's nice to see, like I've said before, and I've been very critical of saying, let's chill out. Let's see what happens with the offensive line. Let's see if Ben Roethlisberger could go out there and do this a full year again. Because if we all forgot, I'll remind you, they were doing this kind of stuff at the beginning of the season last year, where Ben was being able to throw the ball down the field a little bit. The offense was clicking. The run game was going well. James Conner had a couple back-to-back 100-yard games. We're thinking, okay, things are going to be looking really good. And then over the course of the years, when the offensive line started to struggle a little bit, Ben lost confidence. He didn't want to get hurt. He didn't want to get hit. And that's just when the offense just went downhill like a roller coaster. Not the ones at Cedar Point, because they've been breaking down like crazy lately. But, again, that's, yeah.
And you are all over the place today.
I know.
But it's, let's see what happens for a full year. That's all. I'm being very optimistic, but I also have some concerns.
My biggest thing is, I get it. Like how you're saying, like, okay, calm down. It's just preseason. Like, let's see what happens. That's one way to look at it. I'm here for the slander. They want to sit here and drag our team, our new guys, these people we just signed on, Ben being, it's the slander for me. And then for them to come out and prove them wrong, even if it is just the preseason, but to show that you can see it's there. It may not be perfect until later on. It's still a work in progress, which I agree with, but they're acting like this is like Pee Wee football and we're putting it up in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just, it's the hate for me. Like, what are you guys so mad about?
So
Ben's a good quarterback.
So I was looking, and this is from 2 days ago from ESPN, the NFL, the preseason power rankings. Just, I got interested. I wanted to see. And they also said for a player who is on the hot seat, going to the AFC North, they have Baltimore at 6, Cleveland at 7, and then the Steelers at 11, which grew 4 spots because they were originally at 15. And they said the person also on the hot seat for that, or for the Steelers, is Eric Ebron, which is very interesting.
But it makes sense, though. I mean, with all the new tight ends we brought in, he's a big contract. He doesn't necessarily. He's not a great run blocking tight end at all. He's basically just a receiver compared to the guy we got. What Freiermuth we got? And especially after that last game with those 2 touchdowns. He is looking like a Heath Miller 2.0 type player, and that might help us a lot. And so with Ebron's contract, it does look like he's on the hot seat. So I would have to agree with that one.
Kirby just busted out a binder. Everybody go home.
This right here is my 2021 NFL draft profile that I did. It is a big, thick binder that I did full of things for the players. And my NFL comparison for Pat Freiermuth was Zach Ertz, where it was a receiving tight end who has with the ability to block, and he also has an identical frame of being 6'5", 250. And I think one thing is, we all know we were getting very irritated with Eric Ebron and the catching. And we saw it again in Detroit, or against Detroit, where you have Ben Roethlisberger running around like his old time. That was nice to see. And if on a third down pass where Eric Ebron doesn't catch the ball and a catch that he should have made, it becomes very discouraging. And then the next 2 drives, you see Pat Freiermuth catch touchdown passes in the back of the end zone. That really puts Eric Ebron on the hot seat, because now you have either 1 or 2 years. I don't remember. Someone remind me in the comments. Does he have 1 year? Is this the final year of his contract? So you have 2 more years, or next year, this year, next year? Someone remind me.
Didn't he sign a 2-year deal with us?
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure. I can look that up. Very unprofessional here, but I mean, the hell with it.
You're fine. I mean, it boils down to what we talked about in a previous show, that you have to remember there's always going to be somebody younger than you that's either just as talented, if not better. And Ebron's just not delivering right now.
Okay, so he has this year left. He did sign a 2-year deal. So his cap hit right now is $4.5 million. So final year. Thank you, everyone. And that's why everyone was saying he was trade bait for the team like the Saints. The Saints is interesting because they also don't have Jared Cook, and they're going to try to get weapons out for Jameis Winston, because with Michael Thomas being out, pretty much that whole offense is just nothing but Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill. But it was interesting to see that. But it's also kind of nice to say, hey, we have 2 pretty good tight ends that can help contribute. And that'll help out Ben a lot, and that helps the offense as a whole even more, because we already know the wide receivers with Juju, Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, James Washington. If he gets traded, I don't think the Steelers should trade him, but you have that, and then on top of that, Najee Harris, who you just drafted, who could also catch out of the backfield, and I'll say it, from Alabama, and now.
I don't know what you're talking about, Kirby. I have no idea.
I wish I had something Ohio State over here, but I don't. But and then having 2 dynamic tight ends that can make plays for you, that makes this offense lethal. If the offensive line,
telling you,
if the offensive line, I almost tried to say the offense. If the offensive line can gain chemistry, can gel together, and really work together, and they could pick up blitzes, they could really help in the run game, people are going to look very stupid for saying the Steelers are going to go 5-12 or 6-11. And my thing is, everyone acts like Ben Roethlisberger is just going to fall off the face of the earth, and Ben Roethlisberger is going to go out there and look like the second coming of Deshaun Kaiser. Yeah, that's a clap back at you, Browns fans. How about that? But everyone, Benjamin Todd Roethlisberger is going to make y'all look stupid.
Did you guys see the hype video about, somebody made it and it was going around Twitter, and I watched it, and let me tell you how in my feels I was. I was like, he's so good. Like, he's just so good. And I probably looked like a crazy person, but it's fine. Nothing different. But I also want to mention there's a clip of Green going around, watching him stop some of Detroit's players. Talk about a brick wall.
Yeah.
Talk about a brick. I mean, it was like, I watched it. I felt it. I was like, oh, I'm like, okay. Wasn't ready. All right. Not mad about it, but I mean, people were sleeping on these new players. They really were.
And I think one thing too is, and Michael says it best: if the O-line can stay healthy, watch out.
Mm-hmm.
If they can stay healthy, if they can all gain chemistry with each other,
keep doing what they're doing.
because the defense, none of us are worried about the defense
At all, ever.
No NFL analyst, no one is worried about this defense. The worst
And
thing
if
that
they
people
say that they are, they're a liar.
and the most that people could be worried about is TJ Watt going to hold out. I don't think so, because we're going to get into the fact that he's most likely going to sign a contract before the Buffalo Bills game, September 12th. And what other questions could there truly be? Is what happens with the secondary? What's up, Jay? I see you in the comments. Could Devin Bush not be the same player? Which at this point, I'm just trying to pull excuses out of my ass and try to complain about the defense. There is none. The defense is fine. It's the top 2 defense in the NFL. And then the offense has the ability to be explosive. And I use this example all the damn time. If the Pittsburgh Steelers could play offense like they did week 6 against against Cleveland, they're a legit Super Bowl contender, because
We're not talking about Cleveland anymore.
Well, I'm just saying, if we could,
I'm messing with you, Kirby.
Because I won't be surprised if I'll get, for you saying that, I'm gonna get messages now saying, "Oh, you talking crap about the Browns."
I mean, it's okay. I'll probably get harassed some more, but it's fine.
Seems like we all get harassed around here now, but yeah,
I agree with you, though. I agree with you.
Because we look at that game, Ben Roethlisberger was able to throw the deep ball. The run game was there. The defense was creating turnovers. And I think that's another huge part that we have to remember, is this defense can commit turnovers. And that helps the offense out tremendously if you can get in terms of getting points on the board, because we have ball hawks out there like Minkah Fitzpatrick who is a very good lurker. He's a bandit out there. The linebacker. Stop
it! You're getting me so hyped. I'm about to throw this mouse controller across the room. I'm so excited right now.
Listen, when we look at, and we might as well just do a whole defensive breakdown here while we're at it. Look at the secondary. The secondary, I'm not worried about at all. The acquisition of Joe Schobert puts 2 athletically like hell linebackers. I know that's not English. I don't give a damn. We have 2 linebackers who are very athletic, who can roam in space, who can tackle, who sideline to sideline. And I've seen a bunch of people say, "Oh, Joe Schobert's going to miss a shit ton of tackles." Excuse my language. But those fans were also he was also the best player on a team that went 0-16. Joe Schobert's on a top tier defense now, where if he does miss a tackle, don't worry, there's going to be guys around to make the tackle. And then obviously,
I like what Michael just said, though. I know this is like it deals with what you're saying, but I think this was a big problem that made our defense start to kind of fall apart last season, was they were spending so much time on the field at the end. I mean, I know they're athletes, but you're gonna get tired.
Yeah.
You're going to get worn out. You're going to get injuries.
And I think part of it as well is the fact that the Steelers were literally the last. They were 32nd ranked. They had the 32nd ranked rushing attack in the NFL last year. Mm-hmm. We're not going to see that again. And that's going to be a key part, because now you have another dynamic in the fact that Najee Harris, he's a very good blocker in terms of in the backfield. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's a very hard runner. He's not going to you're not going to bring him down on first contact. So he's going to get yards after contact there. I think there's just little things that we need to focus on with this offense, and if those things can gel out, oh my Lord have mercy, Super Bowl ring number 7, here we come. Or should I say, here we go.
I don't think it's
yes,
a
Caleb
lot of people
does talk.
were really I don't think that it's we should be worried like people were during the draft and during, training camp and stuff. I think it's just little tweaks, like you were saying, like little things. I see the potential there. I see the way that they are already gelling. If we can keep that moving and keep everyone healthy, then I think it's going to be good. And now I would like to know what Caleb thinks.
The floor is yours. Caleb, I know you had something. There's something that you want to say. I know this.
Batteries.
Well, it's because I'm a robot, y'all. Haven't y'all been paying attention?
You forgot to put in new batteries.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Here, I have a. Do you need a charger? I have a charger for you right here.
Yeah, I think I have one too. Hold on. Let's see. Wait. Yep, I got it here.
Actually, so nice. I have it twice.
Somebody put Caleb. If you're being held hostage, blink twice.
I can't.
No.
I can't right now.
No, actually, I was on like the Steeler, like the salary cap thing, just like managing, like just trying to come up with something to talk about, and I was getting lost with like going through and like figuring out how much salary we all had, and so I was just lost in there in the moment,
Caleb was doing robot things like numbers.
Quick, our 2021 NFL draft. I'm bringing out the big binder again. I decided
over here, freshman year of high school with that big old binder.
# free Caleb.
Who invited Jay? Somebody get him out of here. We need Jay to come on the show one night. Oh God.
Oh, listen. So here, you know what? While we're at it, while you just brought that up, we might as well mention something that we talked about right before the show. Is we're possibly looking into doing something where we could have you guys, one of you guys, come on the show with us and join us on an episode of Renegade Roundtable. And I know some people like Jay, we do a Zoom thing for the Steelers games anyway. So some of them, some people are very familiar with Stone and my shenanigans in the group in those Zoom calls because I pull some shenanigans. But we would.
I just eat cake.
I just do everything and anything. I am a very wild man in those. And
I just eat half of a cake on a Zoom call while watching football. It's fine. It's normal behavior, right? You guys both do that, right?
Very, very normal. Excuse me.
Okay.
And something that we would like to start doing is allowing one of you guys to come on to the show and join us on an episode. We're going to figure out more of the details on how we're going to do that, but that is something that is in the works with us coming up here in the future. So be sure to follow us on Twitter at Renegade_table, as the tweet that I put out there today on that Twitter has just blown up insanely.
Which one? About how long have you been a Steelers fan?
Yeah. Yeah, that one is going pretty wild right now. It's been seen by 25,000 people. So that's just going insane right there. But yeah, if you want to be on an episode of the Renegade Roundtable, be sure to follow us. Be sure to
don't send me a direct message though, a DM.
No.
Don't slide into my DMs asking if you could be on the show, because that's happened more than once now.
I've had that happen to me too. I've had a couple people, I guess, slide into my DMs, just not the way I would want it to be, but asking to be on the show. Yeah.
No one's wrote to me. I'm out of this.
Nobody even talks to Caleb.
I'm just kind of like, I don't exist on Twitter. I'm just kind of in my own little place. Me with my Pirates.
You guys don't know it, Twitter. But Caleb is like a Benjamin Button, so he might look like he's 19, but he's actually like 107.
No, I'm on. Well, y'all are hanging out on Twitter. I'm hanging out talking to interesting NFL people. Like this week, I met one of the.
Stop it.
No, hear me out. I met one of the guys who's on the coaching staff for the Washington football team.
Interesting.
One of the first.
They don't even have a name.
Well, actually, hear me out. One of the first things he said was, and before you ask, he's like, yes, we know what the new name is going to be. Everybody knows what the new name is going to be. But we have to sign a disclosure agreement saying that we're not going to tell anybody what the new name is. So he's like, yes, I do know what the name is. And he's like, it is killing me on the inside that I can't start repping. Because he's like, we already have merchandise and everything. But he's like, I can't rep any of that stuff yet because I will lose my job. But he said that's just how he started. He's like, before you ask, he's like, I know the name, I just can't tell anybody.
So, I know I would get fired. I would get fired.
Yeah, I would lose my job.
We know Kirby cannot keep a secret at all. Kirby is terrible.
He'd be tweeting it out mid talking to the guy. Hey, check it out what the new name
right?
is.
And he'd be like, hey, no.
He would tell everybody he knew fast.
You know what I would do is I would act like I'm taking a phone call, but instead I just have the recording going on.
Oh my god!
And then I'm just gonna say, breaking news: the Washington blah 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 is becoming the Washington Printer Jets or something like that, and
or the Washington Guardians.
No, he did tell me though. He was like, it is definitely a cool name.
Hold on, time out. Was that a shot? Was that a shot at the?
I would never.
At the
the
new Cleveland Guardians? Is that what you're doing here?
I would never throw a shot at any Cleveland team ever. There's no way. Not me.
You know what?
Not me.
Especially not me either. I could never. I would never. I'm just an innocent person on Twitter. Which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I have one favor for everyone watching. After the show, slide into Caleb's DMs.
Oh my God, yes, please.
Great.
Yes.
Let's get those DMs going. Let's get those DMs.
Oh my goodness.
You know,
at least follow him on Twitter. Jeez.
Yeah. Can we get?
Yeah. Most of y'all don't even follow me, so it's fine.
Yeah.
He never tweets, so it'll be fine.
Well, once Caleb gets more followers on Twitter, he'll feel like he needs to start tweeting.
We have to teach him how to tweet.
No, the only thing I ever tweet on there is I retweet a bunch of Pirates and Penguins stuff because we're mid Pirate season. And
you are more of
Buccos,
a baseball
baby.
hockey player.
Let's go Buccos.
Real quick, I'm doing math real quick.
Oh, so we're gonna be here a while.
No, I haven't. So I've come to the conclusion between me and Stone on our Twitter followers, we have a combined 4,400 followers.
I lost a bunch recently, which is like fine. I mean, unfollow me, follow me, I don't care. But because I'm gonna still say the same crazy stuff that I say. If I had 5 followers or if I had 5,000 followers, I'm still gonna be annoying. I don't care.
Oh yeah. Well, real quick, I might as well just be egotistical for a second. Can you guys please go follow me? I'm like 150. I'm less than 150 followers away from 3K. So please go follow me.
Don't follow him.
Or
follow
not.
Caleb. Follow Caleb.
You know what? That is fine. Don't follow me. If you were gonna put that, if you don't follow me, don't follow me. Go follow Caleb at CRF Trains. I mean, you could see his tag somewhere, like somewhere over there, right under his.
It's like over here or
not
there.
Not to brag or anything, Jeff, but I'm only 2,812 followers away from 3K. So
stop! I'm leaving.
Catching you.
Wait, how many left do you have?
2,812.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
everyone go and follow Kirby and follow Caleb.
Yeah. We should unfollow Kirby. Watch my followers just go. Just like right now, I'm at 20.
You get on there and you've got 30.
I'm at Caleb.
No, you're gonna get log on and just all of a sudden have only 30 followers, and Caleb's got like 3,000.
Yeah, I have 2,859, and by the end of today, I'll probably end up with like 10. And at that point, I just don't know what to do with myself.
Who would you talk to?
Who would I talk to? My imaginary friend named Hefe.
Probably, that sounds about right, actually.
I mean, that's kind of what I do anyway, so. But me and him will become even closer. I guess I'll shout out my Twitter. LOL, I followed Caleb already since the first episode. Jared, my man.
Jared's a real one.
Jared is a real one. And, so I'm going to be stalking Caleb's Twitter tonight, and I better see those followers going up. I better see him get those followers.
And we all know that Kirby will in fact stalk people on Twitter, so that's not a lie.
Dude, I looked at the wrong number too. I was wrong. I only have 38 followers. That's like nothing. I love it.
Oh man, yeah. Everyone.
That sounded so convincing, Caleb. He was like, "I love it."
Yeah, apparently I lost a follower during this time, so I have to say R.I.P. to that fallen follow. I will deeply miss you, and I don't know what I'm going to do with my life now.
Hold on. Let's have a moment of silence. All right, that was good enough.
I didn't even get to lower my head or anything. Okay. Anyway, moving forward.
TJ Watt's getting signed before the Buffalo Bills game.
Oh, I guarantee it.
So now that brings up the question of what is he going to get? Had to keep. Michael said it was him. Had to let the joke keep going.
He will be the highest paid defensive player in the league.
Well, let's discuss this because.
Well, here's my input from zoomed way out. I feel like he's going to get somewhere between $10 million and $50 million a year. You're welcome. That was my deep thought.
And there goes the dynamite.
No, but you know how we said go follow Caleb? Just everyone go unfollow Caleb, actually. I take back what I said. I no longer support him. He's dead to me.
No, if y'all unfollow me, I wouldn't even know, so it's fine.
You wouldn't.
At this point, this is just becoming depressing. No, but in reality, back to the regularly scheduled program. So we're looking at what could TJ Watt possibly get. And so I pulled up the pass rushers contracts. The highest paid in terms of average money per year is Joey Bosa at $27 million per year. He got 5 years, $135. Myles Garrett got 5 years, $125, which leads to $25 million per year. And then you got Khalil Mack, who got like 6 years, $141 million. So we're looking at this as, okay, TJ Watt, if he's going to be the highest paid defensive player, he's going to get over $27 million, which for me, I've put this on record on Twitter saying I would be okay with him being the highest paid player or defensive player in the league, but there was also the chance that he may not be, and that would have been even better. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to re-sign TJ Watt no matter what, and I don't think a lot of us are worrying about it. I've said this on numerous occasions. This is just smoke screen for all the media, all the real media out there to try to get their headlines out, get their clicks in to get people talking. I mean, yes, we are technically talking about this, but at the end of the day, we know he's going to get signed. It's just a matter of when and how much.
We're not speculating that he's holding out because he's not going to get signed. You know what I'm saying? Like how everyone else is. They're like, oh, my God, what does that mean? He's waiting for his contract, of course, which I respect. But I don't think he's not going to get one. And you know me, I've always said, if the Steelers don't keep TJ Watt, I'm done. I'm leaving sports. I don't want to participate anymore.
So
I quit.
We've had a couple comments saying $30 million per year. So that would mean he would get 5 years. It could be 5 years, $150 million. That'd be $30 million per year. Becomes the highest paid defensive player in the NFL. TJ's been there conditioning every day. He wasn't going to play much anyways. None of this is a surprise.
Yeah,
and that's exactly it.
We've been saying that for weeks too. Like, was he really gonna?
No.
Like, are we really worried?
He wasn't gonna play.
He games and not getting hurt right now.
He wasn't
I'm
gonna
just
touch.
fine with it.
He wasn't.
He was
touch
at the
game,
but he was never on the field. So I mean, it was expected of him anyways. I mean, I wouldn't put him out there and risk injury.
Exactly. I'm not. And who knows? Maybe we're going to start getting to a point where he might start ramping up a little bit more in practice because he was doing individuals, but he wasn't doing team stuff, which at this point, it's not like they're learning a brand new defense. He's been a part of this defense. This is the same defense he's been a part of since he's been here. The only thing that's changed is the fact that he switched from the blind side over to the left side. So there's nothing changing with that. It's again, it was just, we've been through this saga before with Le'Veon Bell, where with the whole holdout situation, we saw what happened with that, and God forbid he lost that. So
yeah, who?
Yeah, who?
Who?
He wasn't going to play much in the he wasn't going to play any in the preseason anyway.
No,
at least I don't think. I mean, there is this.
I think he would have played. Maybe a very minuscule amount if he did at all.
I think what was different with the Steelers compared to the 30 other teams in the NFL, minus the Cowboys, because they also technically had 4 preseason games instead of 3. So you have the situation of usually that third preseason game, which that was what it was for Detroit to get for us. That was the dress rehearsal game where you play the starters a little bit. They played them about a quarter, and then you let the other guys go in and get their reps. and we're not going to see any of the starters in week 4. While tomorrow in Charlotte, where we do have someone going there. So
it's me. I'm the someone.
Yeah.
Surprise.
And but also at the same time, we also have to remember too, there is a 2-week gap from week 3 of the preseason until the regular season. So we could possibly see we're seeing some starters for different teams playing in the regular or in this last preseason game to try to get those reps so I was interested to see how teams were going to handle only having 3 preseason games compared to 4. And I'll be honest, I think something that's going to get brought up in the next CBA, or even maybe beforehand, as long as the Players Association and the NFL agree to it, I could see possibly the preseason going down even more and more teams doing joint practices. We've seen a lot of teams do joint practices, and teams like them because it's a more controlled environment where it's not all chaos. You're going to have the coaches can control more things and you can still get your work in. And that sucks some fans might like that, but I think that sucks for the fan that can't make it to a regular season game, because let's be honest, they are very expensive to go to. They can be very expensive to go to in terms of tickets, parking, food, and all the merchandise. Travel as well. If you're traveling somewhere that's not in the area where you can drive. And that sucks because and they're typically very kid friendly, unless you were at the game on Saturday night for the Steelers where there was a fight that went on. Oh boy. But those are things that I think suck for those kind of fans, because tickets for those are typically pretty cheap. Season ticket holders have to pay for them anyway. And if you're a season ticket holder, or if I would much rather just pay for a preseason game than a joint practice, because a joint practice would just make me want to fall asleep.
I cannot relate to that because everything about football makes me excited.
I mean, for me, and I'll get to the comments here in a second. For me, I've been to a bunch of I've been to a bunch of preseason games and a bunch of training camps. And yeah, it gets me excited to see football and watch football activity go down. But if I'm paying the money that I would pay for the joint practice, because the joint practice would eventually be something that you would have to pay for. So they're going to have to try to make that money up somehow. I feel like I would much rather just watch a preseason game. And I might be in the minority of, I like watching some of the back end of the roster guys fight for jobs. Because
I do too.
It's a situation where it really takes 53 guys to win a championship. It really does. And because even though a guy may not play in the games, it's what they do and help the guys that do play in the games, the starters and the rotational guys. It's what they do in practice. It's helping watch film. I think that's also something that's very key for us in the backup job. Now, in our case, we have 2 young guys, and Dwayne Haskins, who just came in here, and Mason Rudolph, who's only been in the league now for a couple years. But it's a different role in this case for Ben. He's the veteran, he's the guy. But if you have a young guy as starter, but you have a veteran as a backup, those are very key things. And that's why it's so crucial to have a backup quarterback, and that's why we're very interested in what's going on with this backup quarterback job.
But we're not going to talk about it anymore because I feel a certain way.
Well, what?
Wouldn't that be like the perfect opportunity to talk about it then?
No.
You know what? How about this?
Nobody likes what I have to say about it.
We're going to get into the comments, and then Stone's going to talk about what she has to say.
Okay.
So Jay says, go Browns. Hail no. Caleb, I like your background.
Hey, I answered him in the comments.
Oh, well, I'm just saying.
No, yeah. It's a good picture. It's from the Pirates Dodgers series in May of 2019. Fun fact.
There you go. That's the stadium
Fun
I
fact.
haven't been here. I haven't been there yet, and it takes more. It takes more than 53. And then, how do you feel? So people are wanting to know how you feel.
One person wants to know how I feel.
Well, I want to know how you feel.
Make
So
that
that's-
3. Well,
That's three
three.
of us.
That's almost as many Twitter followers as Caleb has.
That's more than half my
Hold
Twitter
on,
followers
time
right
out.
I just, like, to be honest with you, how do I put this nicely?
or
I'm
rudely.
so sick and tired of Mason Rudolph stands. I cannot. You guys are doing too much. I don't know how much money he is paying you guys to support him like that, but I want in on that kind of check because, like, and people get so mad because I don't care for him as a quarterback. I'm not, like, downplaying his skill. He obviously got into the NFL. He's obviously talented, but he's not a franchise quarterback, and that is the hill that I will die on.
I put
Well, here's
that.
the thing. You can't hate on Mason Rudolph fans because the Browns fans have made 20 years of following similar quarterbacks and talking them up like they're Super
Do the
Bowl
button,
champions.
Kirby,
So.
do the button.
I completely forgot I had that on my desk until I needed it, and I'm like, I just naturally like.
But if you say that you don't like Mason Rudolph as QB2, people act like you drove by and egged his house. Like, people on Twitter are like, "How dare you disrespect his name?" And I'm like, I don't know him like that. I don't know him.
I put
Pretty easily.
I put that. So I put the tweet out saying Rudolph over Haskins. I strictly did that because I knew people would get riled up, and it sure as hell did. I was at work. I put that, and I just started crying because I'm like, here it comes.
I
And-
just retweeted it and said, "Okay, we get it. You like to stir the pot."
No, you just said what?
No, I retweeted it and said, "Okay, we get it. You like to stir the pot."
Oh yeah, damn right I do. Because that's what I like to cause controversy. I like to get people riled up.
The fact is Mason Rudolph has been with us for what, 2.5 seasons,
Longer than that.
roughly.
So he's been here since he got drafted in 2018. So, 4th year. This is 4th year.
He really showed out when Ben hurt his
Right,
elbow,
so
though, is
in
what I'm saying.
2019.
Like we've consistently seen him throughout this time. And he has not improved.
Well,
He's not improved.
I remember, and I'll say this: when Ben went down in week 2 against Seattle, and Mason Rudolph came in, he looked pretty good. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. I remember in the group chat that I was in at the time saying, oh, I'm going to buy his jersey, just, me being me. But obviously that was an overreaction. But even though we did lose that game, he looked good. And then obviously that following game was against San Francisco, I believe, because that was the week that we acquired Minka Fitzpatrick.
That's when we all found out about Minka's ability, and we all fell in love with him.
Oh, listen, and then literally the first
I agree.
5 minutes of that game, he caused a turnover, and we're like, yep, he's just amazing. And we're pretty used to seeing pretty good safeties for the Steelers. I mean, we did just see one get inducted into the Hall of Fame. This guy right here, none other than Troy Polamalu. But Haskins definitely better than Rudolph. Jeff definitely has his jersey. I do not. I will show off my jersey collection. And I probably have a Mason shrine. Yeah, I do actually. I can grab it. Yeah, it's right here.
Stop.
That's my Mason Rudolph shrine. I do have.
I'm just not like I honestly have not liked him since Ben got hurt. I've never been a Mason Rudolph fan. I'm just don't, and it's not, like I said, it's not downplaying his overall skill as far as he's clearly better than a lot of people because he got into the position he's in. But he's just not long term. He's not a franchise quarterback. I don't even think he's a quarterback that can carry us through next year and to see what the draft class of next year looks like. I don't think he's that kind of caliber.
So pretty much what I've been praising this whole time as possible a bridge guy is what we like to call it. So
I don't think he's a bridge guy.
So I have some stats. I have Mason Rudolph's career stats. Are we ready for this? He has a record of 5-4, so he is a winning quarterback. He has a winning record, and he has a 61.7% completion percentage, 2,089 yards, 15 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Oof. So there's that. I just wanted to show off the greatness or not greatness of Mason Rudolph. Or what is it? Oh, Brett Mason Rudolph III is his full government name. So we'll just throw that out there. But yeah, I think it's time that Dwayne Haskins becomes quarterback too. I feel more. He is going to get the start tomorrow. So Stone is going to get to see a lot of Dwayne Haskins.
I'll report back to you guys on my conclusion.
Well, you're gonna have to, because I'm probably gonna miss the game. So that's what I do.
Well, as long as I don't have to illegally stream the game I am watching, because
it's not illegal for you.
Well, I mean, is it?
We've talked about this.
I am a very kind-hearted individual. I don't like to do illegal things because those are just that's just very bad.
Yeah, and I don't choose violence. Here we go.
I mean, I've never chose violence either. Go look at my Twitter. I am a very nice person. Very nice. The nicest person that you have ever met on the bird app.
I'm just a robot. I'm gonna back out of this.
Here we go. Where's Daniel with the picture when you need him? Oh boy. Yeah. One of my friends, Daniel, has a picture. He has a plaque of the whole Mason Rudolph getting smacked in the head by Myles Garrett, which I was sadly at that game, so I had to witness that with my own two eyes in person. It was not fun. Story about that. Walking back to the car, I'm getting absolutely destroyed by every Browns fan walking down East 9th. Or I think that's what's the street we're walking down. And it was insane. I almost got into a heated argument. I almost got into a fight with my friend in his parking lot in front of his parents because he was getting in the moment he was, saying, hell yeah, he should have done more, this, that, and the third, and I wasn't having it. But it was very interesting. It's the picture of Ben crying on the bench. Yeah. He's gonna be crying. He's gonna be crying tears of joy when he's holding the trophy up for the third time, and then which
is 3 more times than any Browns fan has ever seen their team in the Super Bowl.
I will no longer be interacting with Browns fans on social media or on the show anymore at this point after what happened this past week. So
I sadly, which I don't care. Real quick, I wanted to say something. I don't care what fan. Well, I do care what you're a fan of because not you. I'm talking to the people.
Yeah.
I don't care if you were a Clowns fan, a Ratbirds fan, a Bungles fan, a Michigan Trasherines fan, a Alabama fan. Alabama, or a Clemson Tunger fan. I don't care what fan. I mean, those are all just teams I don't like, but I don't care. We can have discussions about things, or we can have debates about certain things, but it's when you start getting very disrespectful that's when you go too far. If you can't go on Twitter and debate someone of an opposing team without getting disrespectful, just do me a favor, shut up, and just go delete your app and go reconsider life. Do me a favor and do that. Buckos.
I mean, I think we can debate all day long, and like you said, like we joke around with Browns fans and stuff like that. And I mean, but I would never disrespect them. Just because we don't agree doesn't mean I'm going to disrespect you.
And Jay, and that's not at you. You and me go at it all the time. Well, I mean, Jay, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm at Jay's house after JKP tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Or we're with each other all the time. I'm gonna see him on Sunday for the fantasy football draft, which you can watch on Revolution Radio's Facebook page at 1 p.m. on Sunday. So go watch that. But I mean, most of my friends are Browns fans, so I debate them all the time. I've been on Dogs Unleashed a couple times, and I mean, those were painful times, but I mean, it is what it is. But if you
we're talking about straight up harassment,
right.
like,
and one thing too is I know this has happened to you, Stone, a couple times, which is ridiculous on multiple ends, where people will say, "Oh, you shouldn't talk sports. You don't know anything because you're a woman." No, that's not the case at all. I can guarantee you Stone knows more about football than probably half those people on Twitter. I really want to use the language I want to use, but I can't because it would just go haywire. But I guarantee you Stone knows more about football and knows more about hockey than a lot of you people on Twitter. So there's that. And I've known other females who know football. I've had females that I could talk to them about football like they're one of the boys. It doesn't matter about what gender you are. It's about if you like football and you know football, then that's great. And if you don't like football or you don't watch football, then so be it. But just don't be disrespectful. Because Stone is the last person you want to do that with. Violence will be chosen. And we're getting to Halloween season.
oh yeah.
Shall I might have a song that I want to play.
We've got DJ Kirby in the house now. Caleb was like, "What, a song?"
Real quick, I'll have to play it real quick so we don't get copyrighted. But yeah, you wanna have that happen to you? Then I advise you to shut the hell up. How about that? Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day. Oh, only Jeff Shapoopy. What is this, episode of Family Guy now? Yeah, I know I went off topic a little bit, but those are just kind of things that needed to get out there to the people of Twitter. What was I gonna say else?
I was like, "What are you doing right now?"
So, going back to let's get back to the original topics. We have 8 minutes left of going back to what TJ Watt could possibly get. And so what I did is I decided to look up how the stats of TJ Watt compared to Myles Garrett and TJ Watt, or Myles Garrett and Joey Bosa, because I wanted to just see what they compare out to. I have to re-pull up Joey Bosa's, but I could pull up Myles Garrett here. So TJ Watt, in terms of per game, TJ Watt averages more solo tackles per game, more assist tackles per game. They average the exact amount of sacks per game. They average 0.8 sacks per game, slightly more forced fumbles, and yeah. So, which, by the way, proves the point. Everyone says, "Oh, TJ Watt has played more games than Myles, whatever." Look at the per game stats. They might be minimal, but TJ Watt is still better. So kiss my ass. Yeah, I just went there. And then when we go to TJ, so, and then I know for a fact, I've looked at this already. TJ Watt beats out Joey Bosa in every major category for a defensive, for an edge rusher. So it shows that yes, TJ Watt should be the highest paid defensive player in the NFL in terms, because pass rushers is going to get that. So I'm just interested to see how much he's going to get, because that is going to impact what we do Minka's going to get paid. I'm not worried about that, but then we got to be wary about the future later on. Devin Bush is going into his third year, so he's going to be looking for a new contract here in the near future. Joe Hayden, how does that? He wants to get extended. Will they actually extend him with him being a older corner? And if they do, what do they give him? Who else? Cam Hayward's been extended already. Alex Highsmith going into his second year, who's looked like an absolute beast, and I think he's finally starting to get, I think, a little bit of the respect that he deserves. And I can't wait for him to show out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see him because I saw that picture that Mr. Sam shared on Twitter the other day. about somebody messaging him saying like, pay Highsmith, pay Watt, he's better than your Highsmith. And we're like,
well, I mean,
first of all, that's irrelevant in this situation right now. Like,
right. He's not due
for. Second, Sam has no control over that.
It's not. He's not due for a contract for another 3 years. So
thank you.
It's
not. That's what I'm saying. It's completely irrelevant.
He's not worried about getting a new contract. After this season is when he may start. That may start to trickle in his head, or when his agent may start trickling that into his head. But right now, he's just worrying about going out there and balling out and on a team that could.
Which he's doing.
Yeah. He's out there. He's balling. People are going to learn his name very quickly. Obviously, if you haven't, we did go and interview Mr. Sam a couple weeks ago. So if you haven't watched that interview, be sure to go and watch that after this show. Go and watch.
I'm gonna see him tomorrow, Mr. Sam. So
yeah. So be sure to go and look out for that as well. Mr. Sam is a really cool dude.
He really is.
Caleb, I feel bad that you didn't get to be a part of that interview.
Maybe we can get him to come on like halfway through the season.
We'll work on that. We'll definitely try to get him on as well. And I have someone else in mind that I've attempted in the past that I really would like to try to get on. Former two-time Super Bowl champion is someone I'd like to try to get on. So, and also,
I know who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. If Steelers fans will know.
Like, I don't.
No, I know exactly what he's talking about. So.
Okay.
Also,
you were doing the robot face again. I wasn't. Sure.
But it's what I do.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna have to talk to the Renegades, is what I like to call us. I have a giveaway idea I want to do.
Okay.
It's something that I've mentioned in the past, but I think it would be something that would be very fun. And I think it would really, really blow up. We'll have to work out the details on that. Obviously, again, we weren't on last week. We do apologize for that. It's just life happens. But we are back, and we're gonna try to come on every week as usual. And like I said, we're gonna work on trying to get one of you guys on. We're gonna do maybe like once a month. We'll have someone come on and we'll do like a little contest, or we might run like a little trivia thing. We'll have to work that out. And when we do, then we'll get that out to you guys, because I think there's some people that would really like to come on and be a part of us.
There's some people I'd really like to hear from, honestly.
I mean, because we have Stone, who's famous, and, I have to say, it's actually crazy at the fact that she even opens my DMs. And the fact that that she knows who I am, so I'm
gonna wear like a whole mask tomorrow so that nobody can see me, in public. I don't want to be rushed by the paparazzi or anything. I'm just kidding. I'm not famous. I'm really obnoxious, actually. Nobody knows who I am. This isn't even my real face.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we got to remember too. We're fake media. We're pretend media. So. I don't even know what we're doing around here on the Renegade Roundtable, but it actually was a hell of a show. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We definitely had some fun times in the chat. We do appreciate that. Be sure to go and subscribe to us here on YouTube. We're at 70 subscribers. We're 30 away from 100, so we're getting close to the triple digits. Let's see if we can maybe do that before the season starts.
Dude, if all of my Twitter followers went and subscribed, we could get to 100.
I feel like all of your Twitter followers already are subscribed.
Probably true.
So, but yeah, if you haven't yet, be sure to go and send the Renegade Roundtable YouTube link to your friends, family, grandmother, your boss's aunt, your next door neighbor's cousin that they haven't talked to in 10 years. Go and send it to everyone.
Oh my God, stop.
And
we're all going to be going to different games this season. So like, I want to meet you guys. If you guys are going to be there, not you guys, but like obviously you guys too. But if the people that watch the show, are there, like, send me a message. Let me know. I want to see you guys.
Also, something that I want to start doing, and if they want to do it as well, they can as well. I might start doing my own reactions to the highlights of the games, where I'll sit down here, I'll watch the highlights, and I'll kind of break down how I feel about what I saw, or just you ever see those YouTubers that do that just sit down and react? That might be something I start doing. So maybe try to get some more content out there. And like, Stone, if you want to vlog the game or whatever, you can, and maybe I can edit that up. We'll put it on the channel. So
I'll at least get some good pictures for you guys from the sideline.
Oh boy. So wait, are you driving down there? Okay. Well, you have fun with that. I hope safe travels. Caleb, I hope you're enjoying college.
It's all right.
He said,
And I'm just here being a bum. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Have a great evening. Be sure 1 hour from now, I'll be doing Jeff Kirby Project with my man Dean. So be sure to tune in for that. Until then, enjoy the game tomorrow. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, and peace out.
bye.